Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this joint media briefing. We will hear statements from the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the Honorable President of Afghanistan. May I now invite the Honorable Prime Minister of India to make his statement.
His Excellency President Ashraf Ghani, members of the media, I am delighted to welcome President Ghani and his delegation to India. We are meeting in the shadow of the horrible calamity in Nepal. President Ghani and I speak for our two countries, South Asia and the world, to the people of Nepal. Your courage and humanity has earned the respect of the world. And you are not alone at this moment of tragedy and trial. We'll do everything possible with rescue and relief. And we will certainly be there when you rebuild your lives and reconstruct your homes and heritage. President Ghani and I discussed the historic efforts to rebuild his nation. We in India admire the courage and resolve of the Afghan people to seek a future of peace and prosperity. They are succeeding against huge challenges. The relationship between India and Afghanistan is not just between two countries or governments. It is a timeless link of human hearts. We deeply value the friendship and the goodwill of the Afghan people. Every Indian, in turn, holds the Afghan people in the highest affection and esteem. This is why we stand with the people of Afghanistan as they build a united, stable, democratic and prosperous nation. This comes from the responsibility of our friendship. It also stems from our commitment to regional peace and progress. 14 years ago, we started a new chapter in our relationship in a new era for Afghanistan under the leadership of President Karzai. The partnership has blossomed despite barriers of geography and hurdles of politics. We will continue this journey in partnership with President Ghani and his National Unity Government with Chief Executive Dr. Abdullah. And it will not be limited to the period of transition or the decade of transformation. This is an enduring commitment. The peaceful democratic transition last year is a great boost for Afghanistan's progress. We reflected the faith in democracy of the brave Afghan people and great wisdom of the nation's political leadership. Preserving the mandate and political unity will be important for the country's future. I convey our support for President Ghani's vision for peace and stability in Afghanistan. We have a shared interest in the success of an Afghan-led and Afghan-owned process. This should be conducted within the framework of the Constitution of Afghanistan without the shadow of violence. It should be reinforced the political, economic and social progress of the last 14 years. And it should protect the rights and aspirations of all sections of the society, including Afghan women. Its success requires a positive and constructive approach from neighbors, including an end to support for violence. We share Afghanistan's pain over persisting terrorism and extremist violence that destroy lives and derail progress. I thank him for our cooperation against terrorism. We are deeply grateful to the Afghan security forces who protected our people in Afghanistan as they would their own. President Ghani shared his impressive vision for Afghanistan's prosperity based on its talent, resources, and location. We believe that Afghanistan's direct surface link to India and the rest of South Asia and increased connectivity to sea could turn Afghanistan into a hub that connects Asia's diverse regions and beyond. We are ready to welcome Afghan trucks at the ICP Atari. We are also prepared to join the successor agreement to Afghan-Pakistan Trade and Transit Agreement. This will re-establish one of the oldest trading routes of South Asia. I also reaffirm my commitment to take the Chabar port project in Iran forward. We will also quickly conclude a bilateral motor vehicles agreement. We will expand our development partnership, which includes infrastructure, agriculture, connectivity, human resource development, community projects, and humanitarian assistance. We will explore new trade and investment opportunities. Afghan children have a special focus in our efforts. Today, I conveyed fresh support for Habibia School in Kabul, the Indira Gandhi Child Health Care Hospital, and Red Crescent Society Fund for treatment of children with congenital heart disease. We are prepared to continue our support for capacity building of Afghan security forces. I am pleased that we have delivered 3 Cheetal helicopters to Afghanistan, which will add to the growing capabilities of the valiant Afghan forces. Excellency, Afghanistan's success is a much-deserved destiny of Afghan people. But it is also vital for the world. In the troubles of our times, it has acquired added importance. India will walk shoulder to shoulder with you and the Afghan people in a mission of global importance. Your visit has added new momentum to our partnership. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you.
May I now invite the Honorable President of Afghanistan to deliver his statement.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Prime Minister Modi, the distinguished Indian delegations, member of the press, first of all, let me express my deepest sympathies to the people of Nepal. I've had the pleasure of visiting Nepal repeatedly. I've walked those mountains, once a 180-kilometer route and once a 200. I've engaged intensely, and in this hour, I salute, like you, their courage, their resilience, their determination. And your leadership and marshalling SARC resources in this crucial hour are reassuring to the people of Nepal and to the people of the region. Natural disaster does not respect boundaries, and I hope that with the launching of the satellite, the SARC satellite, that is one of your initiatives, we'll be able to predict, prepare, and deal much more effectively with natural disasters and changed environmental conditions, because we must bring the potential of the SARC, that is still the least economic integrated region, yet with the most potential, to the fore, and all of us joining forces to make SARC an economic reality would be an extraordinary step forward. India and Afghanistan are bound by a million ties through millennium. Our ambassador was telling me that there are an estimated 13 million people in India who claim descent from Afghanistan in various parts. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of meeting with people who, after 200 years of living, speak still Pashto or Dari of absolute pure cadence. That is an indication of the ties that we have had, and the past here is a guide to the future. Other regions need to overcome their past in order to build a future. We can build a future based on appreciation of our past. Afghanistan was a roundabout, a place where ideas, people, goods came and flowed from South Asia to Central Asia to West Asia. Our vision today is to be guided by that potential, where again the energy of Central Asia will flow to South Asia, where pipelines, fiber optics, railways, and connectivity, air, ground, and virtual, would connect us. In this regard, we very much welcome your emphasis on the bilateral and multilateral transit and transport agreement. Atari Wagah is a desired destination for us. It would allow Afghan goods to again reach this vast market. And may I take a moment to thank Tagore. Kabliwala has done more to give us a brand that we could not buy with $1 billion of advertisement. So I'm delighted that the old version is being watched and a new version is being prepared that will give you a much more authentic sitting inside Afghanistan. I speak of Tagore because I was raised on Tagore by my grandmother, who lived in Dehradun and Lahore in exile and was educated. And those are the personal type of ties. India's own story has been well understood and often commented. The continuity, the vision, the remarkable transformation. But India's impact on others has not been as much understood. My generation, growing in 1950s, grew on Indian texts and people. Abul Kalam Azad, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru were not names, but ideas, people, leader. So I would like to pay tribute to Indian democracy, to the discourse of rule of law, to the discourse of equality, to the discourse of engagement in transformation. That is where we join together, because Afghanistan's quest is for democracy. We have, through the formation of the Government of National Unity, and let me convey the best regards of Dr. Abdullah and the Vice Presidents and other members of the Cabinet who are not here, as well as the Afghan nation, to you. Our political statecraft has shown that divisions of the past are not going to be the confining limitations of the Afghan imagination. The formation of the Government of National Unity is a tribute to the desire of the people for unity. Peace, Mr. Prime Minister, is our significant goal, because the shadow of terror haunts our children, our women, our youth. What people in the rest of the world take for granted, namely for a young girl to go from home to school in return, is still an exception to us. Terror must be confronted and must be overcome. We are determined to make Afghanistan the graveyard of terror. Our will must not be underestimated, and we will not be beaten into submission. But terror, if it's to be contained, and if the disease is to be cured, root, stock, and branch, requires a regional framework of peace and cooperation. We are determined to change the regional nature of cooperation. Against all forms of violence, what is essential is that the state system in the region rises to a new understanding. Terror cannot be classified into good and bad. It cannot be differentiated. We must have a unified approach. We must be united both in the region and globally to contain this phenomenon. That is the legacy, in Afghanistan today is fighting the battle against terror on behalf of all our partners and neighbors. And we appreciate your moral support and your understanding of our quest for containment. I would like to also express thanks for India's very generous assistance. Over $2.2 billion have been spent, a most significant part of which is in the formation of the human capital. We have 13,000 Afghan students today in Indian universities. And this, of course, will be the ground for formation of new ties and expanded ties that would enable generations to come. And your support in this regard, in the intensive discussions that we've had to turn the potential of Afghanistan into an actual reality, is highly appreciated. Indian investment is important to us, and we would like very much to see coordination, transport access, not only through Pakistan to Wagah Atari, but also to Chabahar, would be crucial for a country that is a dual nature. Landlocked, if you look at geography, a land bridge, and a roundabout, if you look at political economy. We look forward to an Asia that is economically integrated, where profound and lasting peace between states prevails, and where we allow the incredible energies of our people, the entrepreneurial talent for which South Asians are best known, to tackle our greatest enemy, poverty, exclusion, discrimination. In that quest, Mr. Prime Minister, I want to thank you for both your leadership in India, in SAARC, and for your support for Afghanistan. It has been a pleasure, and we're looking very much forward to receiving you in Kabul. I hope that you would not only come to inaugurate the parliament, that is a very appropriate gift from one democracy to another, but to visit the Bamiyan Valley and some of our other sites as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I thank the two leaders for their statements. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the joint media briefing. Thank you.